Through this course, I've shown you the ins and outs of WordPress.com, talking about how to set up a WordPress.com blog, how to configure that blog, how to publish content, publish images, get interactive with other blogs, talk to other people, and share content on the internet. WordPress.com is what's called a cloud-hosted blog network, where millions of sites live together and share content between them, and they share a common platform. And though this has many benefits, it also has some definite drawbacks. For example, as you've seen as we've configured the site, you have limits to what you can do. You have upload limits for content, you can't publish your own videos without buying an upgrade, and you're limited to what themes and tools you can use. One example is a lot of WordPress sites that are self-hosted use really fancy plugins, but in WordPress.com, you can't add any plugins on your own. So if you really want to get advanced with a WordPress site and you want to change the design to something you designed yourself, or you want to add custom functionality through plugins, or even add your own videos or do other types of advanced things, you really can't do that within WordPress.com. In addition, WordPress.com has limits on what you can add to the site. You can't add things like Google AdSense because that's being blocked by WordPress.com. And though Automatic, the company that owns WordPress.com, is working on an advertising solution of their own, it's not the same as AdSense. That said, using WordPress.com, you're able to make extremely advanced websites that are hosted in a network that will automatically distribute your content out to the world and almost by default bring readers to your site. So it's one of those strange situations where you have to weigh the pros and cons. By being on WordPress.com, you get access to this enormous network of content and you get all the advanced features within WordPress.com. However, you are paying for that by either literally paying for upgrades and by limiting your functionality, especially when it comes to customizing how your site looks and behaves. So it's a toss-up. Do you go with the hassle-free WordPress.com with limited functionality but a great network? Or do you install your own version of WordPress on your own server and create your entirely customized site, but you don't have that same network to fall back on? If you want to go with WordPress.com, that's fine. If you want to go with self-hosting, that's also fine. It all depends on what you want to do and how much time you want to invest in it. Regardless, you'll end up with the same core experience because WordPress.com runs the same core software as a self-hosted WordPress site does. If you want to boil it down to a simple question, Morten, what do you use? My answer is not simple. It is, if I was going to make just a blog and I was going to blog about something at random that was more focused on the content and I didn't want to do any kind of management, I would be on WordPress.com. But because I'm a web developer and I want absolute control over everything I do, all of my sites are self-hosted WordPress sites. That doesn't mean one is better than the other. It just means that they're different. And in my case, I lean towards the self-hosting option. What you choose is entirely up to you. And there's one more thing that I have to add to that. The good thing about WordPress is if you choose to go with WordPress.com now and later decide you want to move to self-hosting, or if you start with self-hosting now and you want to move to WordPress.com later, you can do so with minimal effort because WordPress is specifically designed to be able to port sites between WordPress.com and self-hosting and back again as easy as possible.